How we doing, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Big D podcast on Spunky Spectrum Sports on YouTube. I am Alex. Welcome to another episode, I guess. And I've got Dylan here with me as always. What's up, Dylan?
Not much, Alex. A little rain and little. I feel like only a fool would make this Florida weather. I mean, it's been hot and sunny the last week, and all of a sudden today's raining. What else is new?
Welcome to Florida, man. You never know what's gonna happen. But
Yeah. The only good thing is we're not seeing snow, unlike some of the opening day baseball scenes I've seen. Have you seen the snow in Detroit? I'm like, is this January or February?
yeah, right. It's crazy. It's April 1st. It's not an April Fool's. You feel like Mother Nature's throwing an April Fool's prank at you with snow on opening day. But hey, they gotta. If you can play soccer on a rainy night at Stoke, I guess you can hit baseballs on a snowy day in Detroit. So
Hey, wait a minute. Snow. I thought you were talking about the snow classical in Colorado a few years ago.
hey, I don't think that game happened in April.
It didn't happen in December. I think it happened in March.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, that's a little better, I guess. But well, happy April Fool's Day to you, Dylan. And we've got a good episode going on today, I believe. What do you want to get into first?
We could talk. Well, let's see. Last week your Dolphins made a big move, and well, actually two big moves in moving back 9 spots to acquire what is it? A 2022 first rounder and a 2023 first rounder, and then you moved up to the number 6 spot, giving up your own first round pick. So now Philly's got two, potentially three first rounders. Miami's got two first rounders in 23, and San Francisco's got the number 3 pick this year. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think I got everything.
I think there's a third round pick in there that Miami picked
Yeah,
up
there
as
may
well.
have been a couple pick spots, but the first rounders are the juicy ones.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Chris Greer's at it again. Laramie Tunsil might have been that gas mask video might have been the best thing to happen to the Miami Dolphins franchise since Dan Marino. Um, you know, Miami's turned Chris Greer and company has turned one draft pick, Laramie Tunsil, into four first round picks, I believe, plus some additional assets as well. So it was we all I know a lot of Dolphins fans were along with me and not questioning the Tunsil move because it got us so many first round picks. But when you have a star offensive tackle like that, you don't see teams moving away from them very often. But the haul just keeps getting better and better. So Dolphins fans as well as me were pretty happy with it. I think the going from obviously the third pick is nice, but to be able to bring in additional assets and still be in the top six. I mean, when we moved to 12, because it was about, from what I saw, it was about a 20-30 minute wait time between the time we moved from 12th to the time we moved to back down to ninth. Or yes, sixth. Gosh. I keep thinking because I'm thinking we moved back 9 spots and it's throwing me off. But yeah, I think it was about a 20-30 minute time difference from the time we moved back to 12 and then up back again to 6. And I think a lot of Dolphins fans were kind of pulling their hair out thinking, what did we just do? We just left the top 10 and who knows who's going to be available at 12. But after moving back up to 6, I think we've all kind of appreciated Chris Greer even more than we do now. And I love the trade. I mean, we're 3 spots back. You got to think there's probably going to be at least a couple quarterbacks taken early. You think you probably at least get maybe not the guy you wanted to get at 3, but I mean a pick from at least a couple guys who you're definitely going to be happy with at 6. So unless a nightmare situation falls into place where not that many quarterbacks go and the targets the Miami's looking at all go, but I don't really see that as a possibility.
realistically, when the Dolphins basically rearranged their draft, you're thinking they were moving back because they felt comfortable with Tua, or they wanted maybe not a particular player, but a particular need?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one really nice thing for me about moving out of three is that unless I'll just go ahead and say it. I mean, unless the Jets took Penei Sewell, he would have been there. And Dolphins fans have been very back and forth on, at least from what I've seen, on going skill position talent, which is definitely a big need, or taking Sewell and really solidifying that offensive line. And honestly, I'm hoping by the time six comes around, Sewell's gone, because that is a decision that I've been waffling over, and I mean, I love the skill guys. Obviously, I mean, they're flashy, they score touchdowns, they help out Tua, but as we saw in the Super Bowl, without an offensive line, you're not going to be able to do much. We did address the offensive line pretty heavily last year in the draft, and I'm hoping that they kind of use that unit to grow and gel together. So I think I'm pretty confident in saying that Chris Greer and the Miami Dolphins and Brian Flores and everyone in the office, they moved back knowing that they want at least a handful of two or three guys, and they're confident that at least one of them, if not two or more, will be there at six. So I think it was definitely moving back, knowing their need, knowing what they want, and being confident that they'll be able to fill that position, fill that need.
Now, knowing Miami's at six, and this is probably the biggest quarterback hungry draft I've seen in a long time. Is it a blessing in disguise that, yeah, you may think, well, is Tua ready to be a franchise leader, or do the Dolphins think he's a franchise leader and think, you know what, there were some dang good receivers available, and we could get at
Oh
least
yeah,
one, if not multiple wide receivers, a chance at drafting multiple guys at six.
yeah. I mean, there's no I. The Dolphins keep their front office pretty tight-lipped. It doesn't really often seem like they let it slip. I mean, I guess they have a couple hiccups here and there about letting things slip out, but I am as close to 100% as I could possibly be to know that the Miami Dolphins are all in on Tua. It is, I mean, the only possible option away from Tua I could have seen would have been Deshaun Wilson and or
On
Deshaun Watson.
Wilson,
Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, all their names have been in the news, but Deshaun Watson was the only possible other option other than Tua I could have seen Miami going for. And as I'm sure you would agree with, I don't know if he's worth touching with a 10-foot pole right now, because especially right now before any of that stuff breaks or really comes to light on what's really going on there, the Dolphins are sticking with Tua. To answer your question, the Dolphins are sticking with Tua. Brian Flores is happy with Tua. Chris Greer is happy with Tua. This draft, if a quarterback is selected by Miami, it will not be within the first 2 days of the draft. That's for sure. We've got way more other needs. Tua is. Did he have a somewhat disappointing rookie year? Some people say yes. I don't even say yes to that, because yeah, his stats weren't great. Yeah, he didn't look perfect the entire season, but he still led the Dolphins to a 6-3 record as a starter. He showed signs of what he can be. If you just watch the highlights from the Arizona game, the Dolphins are locked in with Tua, and this number 6 pick will be someone, I'm almost sure of it, who will be catching passes from Tua this season.
and so I know you've been reading all the mock drafts lately, and everybody's got a mock draft and like who's going where, who's going where. I mean, you could pretty much pick who my Jaguars are taking at number one a month from now, right?
Oh yeah, there's no question about that. I think Urban Meyer even said, I'm going against the norms here, but Trevor Lawrence is who we're picking. I mean, everyone in the world knows that Trevor Lawrence will be in Duval County at the start of training camp. That's for sure.
The question is not what the Jags do, but what will the Jets do? Will they take Zach Wilson from BYU, one of these pass catchers, or maybe trade out of the number 2 spot?
Yeah, I mean, it just how much do they love Sam Darnold? It's really what it comes down to. Obviously, playing them twice a year, a lot of people. It seems like Sam Darnold is one of these from all the younger quarterbacks that have been drafted in the last couple of years. He seems to be the guy, in my opinion, that people can't really get a consistent opinion on. Some people think he's just surrounded by garbage and he hasn't had a chance to prove anything. Some people think, well, there's a lot of other quarterbacks who haven't had the greatest talent around them and have still been producing, and has Sam Darnold been doing that? Obviously, Adam Gase, as I very well know, has not been the best at helping quarterbacks succeed. But I just got to think if in my opinion, if Sam Darnold was that great, he would makes it's not like they didn't have nothing. I mean, they've had Robbie Anderson was a decent little option. They've had some good receivers, not good receivers. I mean, good receivers. They've had some receivers who are good enough for a quarterback who, if they think, if he is as good as some people are saying or has the potential to be, I think his talent around him was good enough to get more than one win. So I'm not on the Sam Darnold train. I think they should. I hope they don't, because I don't want the Jets to succeed at all. But I think they should move on from him. I think they should go quarterback at 2. But who knows?
Personally, if I'm running the Jets, I'm not taking Zach Wilson. I hate to say it, Jet fans, but I think Zach Wilson will be a bust if you take him.
Yeah.
End quote. I think the Jets should go pass catcher, and I hate to say it, Alex. I think if I'm the Jets, I'm taking your guy at 2. Kyle Trask at Florida. He's 6'5", 6'6", 245, and ran what, a sub-4.5 yesterday in his pro day. And I know pro days different, but that guy is a freak. He is
Yeah.
he is Megatron, bigger than Megatron.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the problem and with Miami at 6, I just think, like, obviously everyone says Miami needs a receiver, but with Kyle Pitts, it's like you're getting a receiver and then some. So Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, those 2 guys, I mean, they've got to be the top 2 pass catcher. I mean, you throw Devontae Smith in there, you throw Jalen Waddle in there, and no one can seem to agree what the top 3 order for those receivers are. If the Jets, I think the Jets taking Kyle Pitts would be the smartest move they could make. So I'm agreeing with you there. If he doesn't go to 2, does he go to Atlanta at 4? Does he fall to Miami at 6?
Oh,
I know.
Atlanta. Oh man, Matt Ryan might throw for 8,000 yards with Julio, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts. That's a lot of SEC play on that fast Mercedes-Benz too.
Yeah, I mean, it's the man. I mean, honestly, after Trevor Lawrence, he's got to be the best player in the draft. I mean,
Yeah.
he might even be a better prospect than Trevor Lawrence. I mean, everyone. I know that Trevor Lawrence has been the college football god, for lack of a better term, over the past year, 2 years, and obviously his draft he's been projected number 1 since the time he threw a football. It seems like we've been talking about him for so long. But I mean, I'll tell you what, Kyle Pitts has got to be one of the biggest mismatches coming out of college football that I can remember. I mean, you put a linebacker on him, you put a cornerback on him, he's going to burn either one of them. I mean, I don't really see how. I mean, he's Gronk, but maybe even more athletic.
I think he's a faster Travis Kelce.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some comps to him, to Darren Waller, but I don't even think it's fair to put an NFL comp on him, because he seems like something that we haven't seen. And if he stands up to, I mean, it's not like he was playing at a lower level school either. I mean, he was in the brood of the SEC at Florida. It's harder to, I mean, you're playing the Alabamas, you're playing everyone. I mean, it's hard to play against tougher college opposition. So I mean, I don't see. I mean, you never know who's going to flop in the NFL. You never know who won't be able to adjust to the full speed, to full NFL speed. But my money's not on him. My money is not on him busting. That's for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of SC, San Francisco at 3 might take an SEC quarterback who's rocking it up the draft boards. Alabama's Mac Jones. And to be honest, I watched a ton of SEC football. Mac Jones is not a first round quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
he
know,
played with 4 first round wide receivers, 2 last year and 2 this year. And the best running back in college football, and the best offensive line in college football. Really?
and the best coach in college football.
Oh yeah. Although you probably would wish he would go to Greenland now.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I have no problem saying Nick Saban's the best college football coach. It's just when he comes to the NFL, that's when he starts to have some problems. But we don't need to get into that.
Hey,
We got into that
he's
last
won
time
2
with
national
Drew Stock.
championships on your home stadium. Just not wearing a Dolphins shirt.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best in the college game. There's no doubt about it. But
So, do you think the Niners will shock the football more than taking Mac Jones?
I mean, the jury. I mean, I. I think they should go quarterback. I think the Garoppolo era is pretty much coming to an end in San Francisco. You know, they tried it out. They had high hopes, and it's been okay. I mean, he hasn't been the worst. I mean, San Francisco, they had to have been one of the most injury riddled teams in most recent memory. I mean, they couldn't keep a player on the field for more than a week before he'd go down again. So I think it's almost a little unfair, the treatment Garoppolo's getting, but like you said, with this quarterback heavy draft, I mean, now's the time to make a move. Now's the time to get a young guy if you're looking for one, especially with the third pick. So I mean, you know, do they go Mac Jones? It really depends on what the Jets do it too. Do you think if the Jets don't take a quarterback, then they still go Mac Jones, or do you think they go I'm drawing a blank.
Zach Wilson,
Zach Wilson.
Trey Lance.
Either one, yeah. I mean,
personally, if I'm the Niners, it's not even a decision. I'm taking Justin Fields and handing Commissioner Goodell the card, but I'm not John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan.
Right. I mean, like you said, Mac Jones. He's been shooting up the draft boards lately. I mean, I don't even think 2-3 months ago he was first round projected. If he was, it would have been probably late first. And now all of a sudden, everyone's talking about him going this early. I mean, he was throwing passes at his pro day the other day. Najee Harris was there. I mean, he looked pretty good from what I saw, but is he a top 3 pick? I don't think so. Is San Francisco going to take him at 3? Who knows? I mean, we've seen some crazy things in the draft. If that's the guy they think that is the guy they want leading their franchise, then yeah, they'll go for him. I don't think he's a top 3 pick. I don't really even see him as a top 10 pick. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft, but I mean, it really just depends on what kind of guy John Lynch is looking for and what kind of quarterback style he wants. If he goes quarterback.
I will attest, if the Niners take Mac Jones at 3, it will remind me of one quarterback decision that still annoys me, that is when the Jaguars took Blake Bortles with the number 3 pick in 2014. And I'm wondering, what the bleep are we doing?
Yeah.
Blake got to an AFC championship game. We were 3 minutes from being Tom Brady. And I still wonder, what the heck are we doing taking Blake Bortles?
Yeah. Trust me, I'm right there with you on questionable first round. I mean, even from the third pick. I mean, we keep talking about the third pick. Miami traded up to get Deion Jordan with the third pick, and look how great that worked. And trust me, that third pick, you know, I'm glad we traded out of it, because that third pick does not seem to be a blessing for at least the Florida football teams. I don't know if Tampa's done anything from there, but Miami and Jacksonville, we definitely haven't had the best of luck from that spot.
Yeah, maybe getting the sixth pick will be interesting. So if all the pass catchers are on the board at 6, who do you want the Dolphins to take?
If all the pass catchers are on the board, I'm going to let Chris Greer make the decision, but it's I've been saying Smith for so long, but it's between Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts, and I really don't know. I mean, if both of them are on the board,
Uh,
if both of them are on the board, this is what I do. If I'm running it, final answer, take Pitts, then you grab your 18th pick,
and
you
take
try
Najee
and put a
Harris.
package together, trade up, and get one of the other three guys. Get Smith, Chase, or Smith, Chase, or Waddle. I don't know if all three of them will be there by 18. I mean, it seems like every Miami Dolphins fan on Twitter, every Miami Dolphins fan in the world wants Miami to take Najee Harris at 18. But if you take Pitts, and then I mean, I don't know if you can go tight end receiver, but it might almost be worth it, and give Tua every arsenal, every weapon, every piece of assistance he could possibly ever want. And imagine a Miami Dolphins offense with Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, Kyle Pitts, Will Fuller, and Jalen Waddle, or Devonta Smith. If we trade up high enough to grab one of him, it maybe, I don't know, 13, 14.
If that
But
if that happened, you could put me on the center and I'll throw for 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns.
yeah, I mean, yes, running back is a need, and I love Najee Harris. If he's wearing Miami Dolphins colors next year, if he falls to 18 and we take him there, which I've been saying I want for a long time, I would love it. But it's the running back position, and putting a first round tag on a running back, it's a risky move. And I mean, you can pay. I mean, we just signed Malcolm Brown from the Rams. I think that's going to be a nice little compliment to our running back room. And I mean, we had success running the ball last year. We had a carousel of guys going through there. But do you need to draft a first round guy when you might be able to get? I mean, he's a great player. I'd love if he comes to Miami, but it's so hard for me to pick between Pitts and these other receivers that I almost just say grab both of them. Grab Pitts and a receiver. If Pitts is there at 6, and like you said, all of the pass catchers are there, that means that the 3 receivers are there at 6 too. Might be more likely that one of them fall to a place that we could possibly trade up for him. I don't think it would happen. I mean, you got to assume Philly's probably going to take one of them. I don't know. Speaking of Philly, why did Philly make that move? I don't understand why the Philadelphia Eagles would want to move from 6 to 12. I don't see what they're doing.
I'll tell you why the Eagles made that move. Look at the Colson Wentz trade and then this one. What could the Eagles have next year? Not 1, not 2, but 3 first rounders.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
guess they're
need?
playing the long.
What do
Go
the
on.
Eagles need? Young talent
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, you're right.
And this way, there's no quarterback controversy. Is Jalen Hurts. You really think Joe Flacco's beating Jalen Hurts?
No,
No, no.
not at all.
It's be honest. The Eagles probably need a wide receiver in a corner. There's a chance one of the big 4 pass catchers there. Yes, since then, Atlanta could take one, and the Jets may or may not, but I think they'll go quarterback. The Falcons may take Pitts at 4. Cincinnati is going offense at 5.
It's
You
either going to be receiver or Sewell for Cincinnati.
or the lineman from Northwestern Slater. Miami's
Yeah,
going pass catcher at 6.
yeah,
Unless somebody hit me on the head, the Lions should go pass catcher at 7.
yeah.
I mean, you might be running routes for the Lions before long.
I'll take it.
Carolina at 8. The Panthers probably need a quarterback, but all them might be gone in the first half dozen picks.
Yeah,
Broncos at 9. Denver needs a quarterback too, but I think they also need a defensive player. Michael Parsons makes a lot of
yeah.
sense, and then trying to think who's at 10. Do you know who's at? Oh, Dallas.
Uh,
Dallas. Well, Dallas is going defense. At least should
yeah,
go defense.
you would
Unless
assume.
Jerry Jones wants another 4-3 wide receiver. Just gonna run full wide receiver sets all day. He'll have Dak, Zeke, and a 4 wide receivers. He'll run the run and shoot offense like the Houston Oilers did in the 90s.
Yeah. Then the Giants are at 11.
Well, Jalen Water, even with the Kenny Galladay move, Jalen Water still makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Kenny Galladay. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, and then it falls to Philadelphia at 12, and then I mean, Smith, Waddle, Chase, Pitts, 4. I don't know. I mean, no one's going to Miami. You have to assume. Atlanta, do they take a quarterback? Do they take a skill player? Cincinnati, do they take a lineman? Do they take a skill player? There's a lot of different spots that a lot of teams could go in a lot of different directions. So, we predict this stuff. Mel Kiper predicts this stuff. Ian Rappaport, he reports that stuff. But all these guys predict it. None of these guys have high percentages on their mock drafts. It's just it's insane how fans like us and even reporters like them think they know what's going on, but none of that news leaves those draft rooms. None of what they're thinking, none of what those front offices are thinking gets out of those doors. So we really have no idea what's going to happen. There could be some more trades. We haven't even thought of who's to say that this draft order is finalized? I mean, there's already been so much movement in the top 6 alone, top 12 alone. I mean, we don't know who could be picking where.
Could the team like Carolina move into the Jets spot and potentially take one of the big 4 or 5 quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously the Dolphins' dream would be as many quarterbacks taken in front of them as possible. The Dolphins' nightmare would probably be Atlanta taking Pitts, Cincinnati taking Chase. I've
got a worst case scenario for you. How about this? Jets don't take a quarterback, take Kyle Pitts. The Falcons trade out of that spot, and maybe not Carolina. The Eagles take a wide receiver, Jamal Chase. Then the Bengals take Devontae Smith, and you're left with Jalen Water or one of the tackles.
Yeah, I mean, and then what do you do? Rashad Bateman later in the draft, or Kadarius Toney? Because Miami has to draft a receiver in this draft. So do you take Waddle at 6 or do you take Sewell at 6? It's almost like Sewell's probably the better value there, but is it filling the need the most? So I mean, I hope your situation doesn't play out. That's for sure.
I'm just glad my team's got the number 1 pick because there's no quarterback. There's no quarterback, wide receiver, or any controversy with us.
You're just seeing what happens at 33. That's all you're worried about.
I'm looking more at, I could make the number 1 pick. I just wonder what we're doing at 25.
Oh, you have a second first-round pick. I forgot from that.
Yeah. Got 2 1s and 2 2s.
That's nice. I forgot Jacksonville had 2 first-round picks. That's good for you. Well, what do you think? What do you hope Jacksonville does at 25? What else? What are you looking for there?
Get a freaking tight end.
Yeah. Well,
we need a tight end. Good Lord. I mean, it seemed like Mercedes Lewis played there for a long time. I think he's been in Green Bay like the last 9 years.
You haven't brought this up yet, so I'm not so sure you saw it. I think it happened pretty soon before we started recording. Have you been on Twitter? And you should pull. I don't even want to tell you. You should pull it up right now. Can you go on Twitter, or would that take too long?
No, just tell me.
George Kittle posted
the George Kittle tattoo.
Oh, the April Fool joke. I saw it in first. I saw him wearing the jersey. I saw his tweet about Duval. I lost it. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta tell Dylan, and then it hit me about 2 seconds later. I know what day of the week or what day it is, but
I mean, George Kittle would be a bigger dream hit than Trevor Lawrence, but that's not happening.
that's not happening. No way. But I thought it was funny. I thought of you when I saw it. I was like, oh, he's been asking for a tight end, and then there you go. I don't
Kittle
even know what other tight end. What was
and
that?
Tim goes to the end zone.
Yeah. Gosh, that's
Okay.
funny.
So thanks for hopping on the podcast. And a month from now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Miami Dolphins, and all the other teams will officially be on the clock.
Absolutely. Cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, Dylan.
I've got my cheese fries and chicken wings ready in the oven.
I don't care what I'm eating as long as I'm watching some good draft. We need some talent, and I'm ready for it. I love the draft season. I can't wait.
Yeah, my mom hates the draft, but I love it. I'm a draft nerd.
Yeah, I mean, last year was the most excited I've been for a draft in a very long time.
I thought you were going to have a heart attack waiting for the Dolphins pick. I remember your video when Tidell said from his basement, Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagliabue, quarterback, Alabama, and then you and your father went bananas.
Yeah, we didn't even hear him announce his last name. The second we heard Tua come out of his mouth, we went out. Oh man, that was a moment for sure. I hope that he pans out. I really I have all the confidence in the world in him. The fact that he won 6 football games, lost 3, had a very low number of interceptions. It probably should have been higher because he got away with a couple of them. But I mean, the fact that that's the rookie year we got from Tua when he wasn't even supposed to play. I mean, it was Fitz's team according to Flores, and people were thinking week 11 we might see him, but obviously once the bye week got switched, that changed things. But the fact that he didn't come into the season expecting to start. He didn't have an off season. He just came back from the injury. I mean, I am happy with that rookie year from Tua, and I have all the faith in the world that it's just going to be up from there. That Cardinals game alone gave me reason to believe in him. I mean, he just looked incredible.
The fact that he dueled with a rising star in Kyler Murray, I don't care if it's Cliff Kingsbury and a bunch of whatever in Glendale. Tua looked like the Tua from Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing everything. He was throwing the ball. I mean, the juke move he put on Buda Baker was just disgusting. I mean, he looked confident, and that was the biggest thing. It's just he had such a high confidence in him that we need to see more of. And I think if once we get one of these guys, maybe 2 skill players, whether it's Najee Harris and a receiver, or Pitts and a running back, or whoever we end up with these first 2 picks, I can't imagine. I mean, one of them is going to be catching the ball from him or hand the ball off or grabbing hands off from him. So he's going to get some help in this draft, that's for sure, and I'm excited for it. Plus Will Fuller.